quarterback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Panther 11, Panther 11. 19 tight, 19 tight. Panther 60, Panther 60. 19, Pioneers. Go.
On play action, they'll throw.
Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. A huge play there for Washington. 48 yards.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone. This time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us to their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Robinson is not going to get a whole lot. Maybe a yard down to the 3.
Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Robinson again. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr., his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake. Allen.
Shakir hauls it in.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, how about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
They run for the first time with James Cook.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Allen on third. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Fourth down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
22 yards there, a first down. Looking to throw.
Again, he'll find Samuel for the completion. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
19 Lions.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll set up to throw. And this one is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
Okay,
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Sly able to put this one through.
And that will make this a 9-point lead.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that will bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Allen to Diggs there for a Buffalo first.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. Montez Sweat in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After one, it's 9-0.
38-yard line, 2nd and 11.
Another try after the first down sack. Allen.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
And Charles got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Jonathan Allen in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
And that'll be complete to the running back, Gibson.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up the first down.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Second down and a run by Robinson. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 10 yards there, good for a Washington first down.
Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
They'll let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
This one fielded at the 5. And they will be backed up deep. Trouble here as they're going to start this drive at the 6.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go?
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team.
Touchdown, Washington.
Noah Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Commanders are able to add on to their first half lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 23.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I'll tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, there's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Allen now looks to throw.
He'll find Gabriel Davis.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. That'll give him 8 that time, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
They'll run for it. Cook. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Allen off the play fake.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now for getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And this is going to be intercepted.
And the Commanders are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. A turnover's obviously, Charles, always costly, but, man, when you throw those interceptions in the end zone like that, it really stings.
He tried to fit that one into his tight end, and I often use the expression NFL open, which means a tighter window. Down near the goal line, you really want him to be open. In this case, it cost him.
And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning.
Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
Ready.
2nd and 8 coming up.
60 Maverick. 60 Maverick.
Back to throw.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Looking up into the lights, and he muffs it.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punch coming in, I've never returned punts, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense, because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. That's what they talk about us all the time about.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot, because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
And taken right on the 30. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown.
You start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
From the 6. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And so far, in terms of putting points on the scoreboard, it's been defense 2, offense nothing. But they'll have a chance to put together a first scoring drive this go-around. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Allen. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Here's Allen to throw it. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Jonathan Allen able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, Allen. And that is caught. It's Davis. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Throwing on 1st down is Allen. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Allen. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And fortunately, the Bills jump on it and get it back.
So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top.
As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. A give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now Allen.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. The Bills passing game getting them down the field. They've got another 1st down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the 1st half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try to pick up another 1st down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
From the gun, it's Allen. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Commanders are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. On play action, they'll throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say,
Mostert hit and he drops the ball.
And the Bills have recovered.
You remember in preseason when we went to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always out and going through those gauntlet drills and, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the 1st half, and that trend is continuing here.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And Davis with it left side.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on third downs, and it's costing them.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Bills. Gabriel Davis, 48 yards. And the Bills' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Wow, talk about a big fourth down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Straight ahead, Gibson. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Hurry!
They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
But that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. Well, still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Allen going to try and throw on third down. Complete. It's Johnson.
And he is going to have a Bills first down, as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in a shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
On first down, Allen. This one caught by Davis.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Has his man, it's Shakir. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Shakir hauls it in. Touchdown! Khalil Shakir from 21 yards away. And the Bills get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick.
And this is going to be covered up by Washington.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On 2nd down, Mostert.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there, because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Von Miller coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken around the 12. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. He's got his target. It's the tight end Knox.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw. And my goodness, another interception. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Gregory Rousseau
in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Fielded at the 33.
All told, a 54-yard punt, 13 on the return.
And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play.
And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Benjamin St. Just. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. So a big return there, Charles, on what was a pretty dangerous throw to the outside.
It sure was, Brandon. That's the risk you run on a throw like this. If it's intercepted, a lot of times this is a pick six. So good hustle to get back and get him down. But, boy, that's a throw you've really got to be sure of if you're going to work the perimeter of the field.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
They'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Again, it's Robinson. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Good gain there on 1st down. That keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. And they take a knee.
Let's go now. Ready?
And they'll indeed take a knee. The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This will be a 37-yard attempt.
So it's Washington getting the victory here.
And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because it just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for Washington,
the win will come too late to save a losing season, but they do move to 6-9 on the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face the Giants next week. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they will be at home next week.
The beginning, so you know it's only right, that's how we end. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Know when you riding like we riding with each other. Ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Know when you riding like we riding with each other. Ain't no I in this. Tell them line it up. Like a 4-1, we sneaky when we slide them. Y'all on offense with no defense, now y'all time is up. We make the hits, y'all take the hits, and now we fired up. 3, 2, 1, don't need no break. Hut 1, hut 2, get it straight, that's how I like it. And we grind it every night to make it hit, now it's exciting. See, they just getting cake, they ain't never gonna get no ice. And all we want is chips, ring fingers looking ice. My day ones had to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulations.
It's all right, man.
Can you go to court?
Cool.
Got so many memories that I made on Cascade Road. I done gained the world, I ain't never sell my soul. This is God-given, so I thank him as I go. Hate to sound conceited, but I know. Crazy thing they with me. Yeah, crazy thing they with me. Run up on me, baby, show you gon' see. Yeah, got power from my head and my feet. Yeah.